Me and my culture and my culture and me. Culture plays a huge role all over the globe. Culture allows people to be unique and be themselves. Culture allows us to be who we are. It is how we act, think, and what we own. It allows us to express who we are and makes our own identity in a society. There are many diverse ways of life all over the globe due to culture. Language is one of the biggest things that allow cultures to act how they are. It is the key to the world's culture. It is a system of symbols that allow people to communicate with one another. There are different symbols, alphabets, numbers, letters that represents how cultures communicate in their language. Some of the biggest languages, the first being Chinese, and then English, and then Spanish. And I have been in Spanish for 4 years now, so I have gained some knowledge on the Spanish culture. I speak the English language, and I have learned how to read, write, and speak Spanish for being in Spanish 4 years, and this can be very helpful to my future work, leaving me bilingual. So now Spanish is a part of me and my culture, and I can use my Spanish knowledge for the future. There are many different ways to communicate, such as reading, writing, sign language, using your voice to speak, Braille. The Chinese is the most widely spoken language. Another part of culture is values and beliefs. One can follow many different desires and standards they choose to in their lifetime. Values define standards that people want, that people use to decide what is desirable, good, and beautiful, and that serves as broad guidelines for social living. Beliefs are specific thoughts or ideas that people hold to be true. Beliefs are what individuals consider to be either true or false, and values are what people decide to be good or bad. One of mine that I value the most is achievement and success. I value this because I have always been hardworking, and I believe that working hard will get me to where I want to be. Working at a young age shows dedication and determination, and so by starting a job at a young age shows competition and will reflect on me for my future. In a society, many people are influenced by one another. This is called norms. It is rules and expectations by which society guides the behavior of its members. In my society, in a high school, no one wants to be abnormal, so we all try to fit in. This makes it very difficult for one to be themselves. No one wants to be the outcast. One norm that I notice in my high school is attendance. In my grade, we all have a competition for the perfect attendance, because without being present, it would go on record, therefore your perfect attendance would not count. Another norm that I have noticed in my high school is fashion between the females. All the females at school compete and try to fit in with one another. Once one thing is not in trend anymore, everyone else reacts to the new change. Therefore, we all try to follow the norm and fit in. We all respond to each other's actions and behaviors, and that guides our behaviors to respond to them. The next concept is folkways. Folkways are norms for routine, for casual interaction. These are less noticeable actions that we all follow because our society does. These are norms that everyone is expected to follow because our country has set these standards to put up this image, and if one was not to follow these, it may show disrespect, rudeness, and can result in a punishment. Many cultures have different folkways that they follow. In my country, we follow simple manners. For instance, shaking each other's hand and greeting each other and wearing nice clothes to important events shows a folkway. Since I'm at the age that we should be getting jobs by now or have jobs, we have to wear decent clothes. In a job interview, one should always wear appropriate clothing to impress the employer. It is almost mandatory because if one does not wear the appropriate attire, it may come off as disrespectful, or one may not get the job due to the clothing attire. Technology is a huge way cultures can communicate all over the globe. It plays a huge role in our present day culture. Each culture can strive as one due to technology. Technology is the knowledge that people use to make a way of life in their surroundings. It allows to make new traditions or advance in one. Cultures may even communicate together because of technology. For example, a cell phone. Using Facebook, Tinder, dating apps, it allows people to find each other and connect with one another. In addition, in my life, we have had some transfer students. We've had one from India and Thailand, and it would not be possible for this to happen unless technology wasn't present, due to the language barriers, transportation, and more. I would consider my culture to be a subculture. The term subculture refers to cultural patterns that set apart some segment of society's population. With being in a subculture, this would include going to high school football games, working and hanging out with all of your friends, going to get food after school. This would all be a pattern of a subculture. Everyone in my high school community are doing these things. In addition, just the general population of my town, Farmington, is very low, leaving all of us very close and knowing each other. In a society, one is supposed to follow a certain image. When one does not follow this certain image, is called counterculture. Values and norms make a person's image normal. It refers to cultural patterns that strongly oppose those widely accepted within society. Subculture relates to me and my culture because there are many different cliques at school, and when one does not fit into one of those cliques, it makes them different. They even may not be accepted. Cultural universals are traits that are part of every known culture. In the United States, everyone is expected to get their high school diploma, go to college, get a job, get married, and have a family. That is the typical American cultural universal. There are many different cultures that have different standards they're supposed to meet. Most everyone is expected to have a family. Another cultural universal that some cultures do is celebrating for festivals. An example would be Cinco de Mayo. And I have seen part of this culture universal because of being in Spanish class. I as well am in Spanish club, and we have celebrated Cinco de Mayo. Gender refers to the personal traits and social positions that member of a society attach to being male or female. It is known for the men to be head of the household, where they are doing the work and labor and making income for the household, whereas women stay home with the kids and provide meals. In my high school, I have seen many gender differences occur. More people are starting to come out who they actually are, their true identity, and the social image is not stopping them. Social control attempts by society to regulate people's thoughts and behavior. Our country has sanctions which keep people under control. People in our society follow these rules to avoid punishment. One can experience shame, guilt, or even a reward because of social control. In my culture, our social control in school would just be getting a hall pass, our bells, homework due dates. If we do not follow these rules, it can result in a punishment such as a warning, detention, or even expelled. In the end, culture plays a huge part in everyone's life, and it makes them who they are. It allows one to be unique and an individual in their society. In the end, there are many diverse cultures, and no matter what norms, language, technology one has, their culture will always be inside of them.